I might have left the window open, but it's quite a nice breeze. Well, we've got a reasonable amount of news to chat about. You can ask when the fuck is 3.0. You can ask that in a minute. Well, I'll answer that in a minute. To the best of my ability. The moment the screen says we're waiting, I'm gonna be patient. See me. Good job, Andrew. Thank you, Casper. Or Frank. Thank you, Frank. Good job for saying hello, Casper. How bloody dare you get this? Well, Daniel, you literally have to wait for the 3.0, just like the fucking rest of us. I hope I don't cause you to have to smoke weed every day, Kenneth. Why can't everyone just have normal names like Kenneth Reeves here? Nice normal name, I can pronounce that. People allowed to move out of the way if they want to. It's all good, isn't it? People want to get grumpy about waiting. That's their fucking cross to bear, me. I don't get grumpy about it. Though I do get a little bit grumpy about waiting. Beautiful intro there by Pedro Camacho, the one of the lovely composers for Star Citizen, for the Musewix. Hello. Right, so this is like a Star Citizen talky thing that I do live, and I'll take all the questions in the world that I can from the chat. That's the idea of it. You say questions, I'll try and answer questions. A lot of the time I'm going to get very similar questions. So I got a couple of FAQs and stuff you can see that I do on my YouTube channel that like help explain stuff. But feel free to ask them. If I don't answer your question straight away or within I don't know, 15-20 minutes, because I'm slightly further back on the chat than you guys are, because it lists it and it's go through it and all that sort of jazz. Then feel free to ask it again. Just don't spam it. Just give it a while, then ask it again if you think it's relevant. But yeah, so today we'll go over some of the news very briefly. We'll talk a little bit about 3.0, where we are and that sort of stuff, because we're always going to, when I say exploring new worlds in the title, there was a CitizenCon post teasing what CitizenCon's going to be about. It looks like it's going to be an all-day event where they are literally going to have, it looks like, some cool stuff in lore happening. some cool interactive stuff with the devs, but also with the CitizenCon sponsors, which look to be at Consolidate Outland, who've done the Mustangs, the UEE Diplomatic Division, Aegis Dynamics, Electronic Access, and Compass, who are, I believe, some form of exploration magazine for the game. And I hope that we get to see the Squadron 42 vertical slice, but I'm expecting now to see definitely some stuff to do with new biomes, planetary stuff, all that sort of stuff at the CitizenCon presentation, like possibly flora and fauna, possibly aliens, that sort of stuff. So people with me with that? Because they've got to have the next version of their planetary tech kind of done. For moons, there's only a limited amount they can kind of show for Stanton because there's a limited amount of biomes. But as they go forward, and with procedural cities and with the vast range of biomes that they need to complete the game, I think we're going to see some of those at CitizenCon. Where are we with 3.0? That's a question I keep on seeing. Someone's asked about the economy as well. Oh yeah, we can talk about the economy in a minute. So with 3.0, there's 26 bugs left. They've rejigged some stuff. So with 3.0, they've literally gone, right, let's get it to the Evocati as soon as we can. Let's make sure that they can move around the universe and can seamlessly get onto planets and to move around and do missions and stuff. So they've reduced the must-fix bugs by fixing some, then moving some over to, well, we'll polish that for the next build, which will still be before 3.0 goes live. But they're getting the Evocati build out as soon as they can. 26 bugs to fix. Boom. Then it's done. Let's actually show you what I'm showing. Look. This massive dramatic removal of 50 bugs is not all because they've been fixed. Some of them have just been moved to other priorities and like. So the second Evocati build will focus on cargo and trading, something like that. So there's that. So we should get a 3.0 build. Hopefully a couple of weeks. I have to wait and see. I suspect that Tessa will be in 3.0 in some capacity. So with the mission system, in the short term, all of the missions from like 2.0 and everything, they've been smashed apart. Bam, 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 bam. But it doesn't mean they've been lost or destroyed. They're taking all of those pieces of those missions and they're basically feeding it into the subsumption engine. So with subsumption, which basically governs their mission system as well now, you're going to have a mixture of handcrafted missions. So some of the Mars Eckhart missions are going to be theme park missions, we call them, or almost entirely handcrafted. And then you're going to have the modular missions, which are the majority of the missions in the game that you play will be the modular subsumption missions, where they'll go, you're taking a mission to deliver stuff, and they generate a mission, and that it will generate a mission. It will go, you've got to pick it up from here, you've got to go here, and then a billion different things could happen to you on the way. That could be being attacked by pirates, it could be an ambush when you actually go and get to somewhere, it could lead on to another mission. There's loads and loads of stuff it could do, including where it's actually, where you're picking the mission up from, where you're taking it to, all that sort of jazz. So that's the idea of the modular mission system in the short term. In the longer term, it will be dynamically generated missions as well. So when I say dynamically generated missions, the mission system will literally go, what is happening in the economy of the system and nearby systems? What are the players doing? Do we need components for ships? Yes, we need more steel here. Great, we need more steel. Generate missions to transport steel from here to here. And then if those steel shipments get intercepted by pirates, it will generate missions to go kill the pirates. If those pirates keep on intercepting and destroying those, then that might generate bigger and bigger missions. And it might go, well, there's a pirate threat here now, there's pirate bases that have spawned. But the mission system will be relatively dynamic into what players do as well. So if you're smashing loads of pirates, it might stop spawning pirate request missions because they're all dead. There's loads of stuff that system can potentially do. But also, random encounters that you're going to have in the verse are also going to be governed by the system. So turning up, I'm a trader, flying around, and I get pulled out of warp, pulled out of quantum drive. It's warp drive. Or impulse maybe. Get pulled out of my my jumpy jumps, and there could be some pirates there. Some security could turn up to help defend me based on how secure the system is. If it's a really, really rough area, then there could be loads of pirates near me. And you're going to get a mixture of these missions being generated by the god AI and by the subsumption, but also all these encounters that you're going to have along the way. And that's one of the joys of Star Citizen's quantum travel, that it's part of the mission, part of your gameplay is the journey towards things, and it's not just going to be, I'm quantum travelling, and now I'm bored for 20 minutes, or whatever. It's going to be lots and lots of stuff. No sentient rocks! That's bad, Tessa. As a fellow member of Test Squadron, from a purely financial standpoint, should I get a Crucible to repair their ships, or a Reclaimer to scrap them? Reclaimer's my favourite ship, get a Reclaimer. Good job, Wolf. Tessa may or may not be the best waifu. I don't know. We don't even know if she exists. She could just be some form of, like, virtual intelligence, couldn't she, in that probe? It's like, how do we get guys to do probe missions? Just have a cute girl's voice. Have a cute girl's voice on the probe. They're going to do missions. They're not even going to check. I think that's a great idea. Would you kindly, they could ask, before you go and do a mission. Are you excited to see more Xi'an ships? So, Xi'an don't excite me much as ships that I'd own myself. I like them as a race. I like the idea of them, that they're almost Cold War Russian, but with very nimble tech. I do want to see more. I like them I like them as a race to have conflict with. I like them to have missions in their area. Just not ships that I'd own myself. So I'm excited about Xi'an stuff. Just not as... because I wouldn't buy a Scout, ever. I wouldn't buy pretty much any of the Xi'an ships. I don't like the... I bought a Nox, admittedly. They're not for me, typically. What else have we got? What else have we got, question-wise? Is there anything we know so far that indicates missions, exploration, professions will not be viable for solo players? They should be viable for solo players. You're going to be able to hire NPC crew, not in 3.0. A little further out than that, and you're going to be able to hire players to come and help you. So you will be able to do some exploration solo, definitely. You'll probably even be able to run a carrack just with yourself and NPC crew. And there are solo exploration ships like the 315P, for example, and the Terrapin. Well, the Terrapin's kind of two, but you can run it solo. So you're going to be able to do solo exploration. It just depends on the scale of it, and you've got to remember that in most cases. I'm saying most cases, because CIG said in all cases that players will be better than NPCs, but I'm going to say in most cases, because I've played PUBG with some very, very special people. I do think a lot of the larger ships, though, you do want to fly them with at least a couple of mates, but you will be able to fly them all with NPC crew, so... For 3.0 to come out, I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take for a live build. I still think
couldn't choose a sound
up to 8
hostess,
weeks.
So I decided to
thank you very much, Timmer. Thanks for the host. But it's very likely we're going to get an Evocati build within 2 to 3 weeks now. But then I'll know more. And then you'll possibly see when I say, when do I think there's going to be a live build, I'll have a little bit more weight in my understanding of it. So I'll be like, oh, I feel like we're going to get a live build in 5 weeks or something after I've played the build, because I'll be able to see actually what needs to be fixed in my head. Obviously, I can't talk about the actual content of the Evocati patch once I'm playing it. So we are going to have a look at, in a minute, just the end of that Gamescom presentation. And let's bring it up on the screen as well. End of that Gamescom presentation, so the Idris and the Idris Battle. There was some cool pictures of the Idris destruction, which I will show off very briefly, because it was so cool. Let's have a look at that now, quick. Sneaky pictures. This is just the Idris exploding. A variety of different styles. I don't like some of the yellowiness of the explosion effects, but they'll be tweaked. And also, when you freeze frame them, you're not going to get the same sort of effect as you are when you're going I was going to say 60 plus frames, but I think we had probably about 10 to 12 when we saw the Gamescom demo and the ships exploding. The explosions are very impressive. Well, the intention is with the Idris fights and with the capital ships and with the large ships in general, that they're not just always going to explode or anything. Sometimes they'll explode. A lot of the time they'll just be crippled. And certain systems might still be working, so it's your choice whether to keep on blowing them up or anything. But also they'll have huge time to kill as well. And they'll be able to be repairable as you run around. Like this sort of huge damage here would be repairable by a crucible, but lots of internal damage will be repairable by hand tools. And swapping out components and rerouting power. With capital ships coming into the game, possibly not in the too distant future now, that's quite exciting for me. Let me link you the stuff they talked about for CitizenCon. And if you're a subscriber, you'll have access to this vault and more. Didn't want to show them in like huge detail or anything because I feel that it takes away from people that are actually paid for the subscriptions on the RSI site for that extra additional content. What are we looking at? It 10 to 12 FPS, I know, right? Not the best FPS we saw in the Gamescom demo, admittedly. 3.0 is not out yet. Either guy build, expect it 2 to 3 weeks. What CPU and GPU should I get to play this at 4K? There's no real 4K graphics cards at the moment. You need to wait a little bit longer. There's no point in trying to get it to play 4K in the short term anyway. Game's not going to be released for like at least a couple of years. Probably not going to get a beta for a couple of years. 2019 is when I'm expecting beta for Star Citizen. If you're talking about Squadron 42, which is the single player campaign, then that's obviously going to be significantly sooner. And 4K, you really want to wait for the next generation of graphics cards, in my opinion. Or for Vulkan integration, and then maybe you could do SLI setups, possibly. The human eye can only see in 24 frames per second. I can tell you, though, I can notice intervals of 20 FPS changes, though. So I noticed 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 140, all the way probably up until around 300. And people are like, yes. When you notice it visually up until about 180, definitely everything feels smoother the refresh rates and frame rates. And then after that, it's more sort of like your accuracy and smoothness of a mouse. Definitely, you notice it. But yeah. Yeah, but they notice frames per second rather than see them in front. 24 frames per second is one of my troll talk things. It's like, yeah, but we only see in 24 frames per second, so fuck you. That's what I think. So Star Citizen will get more and more optimized as we go forward, both graphically and the way it optimizes for GPUs, for SLI, for multi-core, that sort of stuff. So in 3.0, yes, we are getting some better GPU optimization. We are getting stuff a little bit more multi-threaded. They've moved like physics and stuff onto another core, which is great. But don't expect huge performance gains in 3.0 by any means. 3.1 and 3.2, yes. And there's object container streaming. I'm going to say this every time I stream. Object container streaming is one of the big performance gains we're going to be getting when it's actually utilized. It's built out in 3.0. The system is ready for it. Everything is in object containers. But object container streaming using the actual tech to get performance gains won't be until 3.1 and 3.2. And graphics card wise, if you're after a budget card, I love the 1060s. Although there are some good AMD alternatives now.
Tricksy little hobbits.
I'm not an expert on the AMD ones. Thank you for the love, Techno Spoon. I'm not sure why it's doing the little love hearts, but why not? You tricksy little hobbitses. But the 1070s used to be my go-to card until Bitcoin miners kind of overly bought them. And now they're expensive. So the 1080 is actually quite a good high budget card now. Budget card, but value card. It's great value for what it is. That said, you don't really need it for anything because it goes a bit overkill. So wait for the next generation if you're thinking about building a rig at the moment. That's my recommendation. If you're desperate to buy one, then 1060 or 1080. And if you've got to have the best, then 1080 Ti's are pretty much sexy card. AMD are doing some great stuff there at the moment. I just haven't had my hands on with any of the new AMD cards yet. I will look at them. I don't know constant variables. What is the difference between a saber pilot and a hedgehog? The blockers we are waiting for to be resolved. Will they just get the worst ones fixed and release the difficulty? No. So what they're specifically doing, there's loads of little bugs in the builds. There's loads of little bugs in Star Citizen in general, whatever. So they're fixing them all the time, bam, 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 and they're going to continue to fix them. There's 26 must-fix issues currently that are focused around traversal of the 3.0 universe. So that could be landing, that could be the air traffic control, that could be takeoff, that could be spawning in ships, that could be quantum drive. So it's going to be all those things. They're fixing the bugs with them, and then they're going to release it to Evocati. There's going to be bugs with cargo, there's going to be bugs with other things, and then they're going to, for the next Evocati build, they're going to focus on fixing the things that the Evocati find immediately in that first build, and also focus on another subset of trade and cargo, probably, will be the next one. And then they'll focus on that, so that'll be like another 18, 20 bugs. Bam. And they'll release the next Evocati build. They're going to do it stepped like that, because it actually utilises the Evocati and makes stuff much more doable. Like, you can see the progress, people can test it, it will go to PTU, hopefully sooner with that, and it will be more... We'll be able to see the progress more, like, visually, understand it. Me ranting and raving about, I wanted 3.0 for so long, since Christmas I was ready.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Thanks, Redbox. Appreciated. I've updated the donation bar thing at the bottom with the actual donations we got from YouTube. I have to do them manually for some reason, or had to do them manually last time. It might work this time. I've also updated the Twitch stuff so that there is little games to play. I haven't even seen if they work. Feel free to test those games on Twitch. There's like a little symbol that will appear on the bottom right, that's UEC. That's the channel currency, as well as eggs now. Eggs are more of a joke currency. So I love the 1080 Ti. They're different, slightly differently priced in the UK. Well, obviously I get a lot of my prices from. The 1080 is actually quite good value compared to the 1080 Ti, which is about £150 to £200 difference at least. There's no confirmation of when Evocati will start, nor unless CIG had officially announced it. Well, I better confirm that, but there is no official announcement of when the Evocati will start. It potentially could start on this Friday, although I think they like to start them on Thursdays, if they do stuff like that. The game is around 30 gigs at the moment. The Delta Patcher, however, is coming with 3.0, which is great, because that means no more giant patch downloads after you've downloaded that. You might have to download the full game once, again, once 3.0 comes out, maybe. They might have it so that it will... Probably are going to have to download it again, fully, probably. But it does make the game much more accessible, because when we were like Evocati testing and PTU testing previously, you had to have to keep on downloading more and more and more every patch. Oh, it was hell. So I think one of them got up to patch like K or J or something, but it was every 2 days you'd be downloading 35 gigs. But, ugh. I've got quite a fast connection. I found that annoying. You've got a really slow connection. It's going to be impossible for you to even do PTU testing. So, with stuff in general, so there's a lot of stuff that does the community want. Like, maybe the point of the project at the moment for Star Citizen is to kind of give your feedback and get your opinion into the game. Now, even if you think your opinion is not shared by others, parts of it might be. And the important thing with Star Citizen's balance and its gameplay and everything is that everyone kind of needs to have their say. Even if it's not going with the crowd, not with the mainstream, because there's some good ideas that they can use from everyone. And there are amazing little diamonds that should get like shown off in the rough occasionally, and some things that they try to implement, or the mainstream thought was going to be a good idea, isn't a good idea. Balance needs to be adjusted for all the time, and so people's opinions for that. CIG do stuff wrong, we need to hold them accountable for that. So that's why I enjoy the project, and that's why it's important for people to have their opinions, even if you don't agree with them yourselves. There's not going to be any bugs! Stop being so negative! Oh my god. Oh my god. I want whatever you have in me. What you're having. I have not heard anything about Logitech honouring the agreements that they had with Cytec and stuff like that. So the last thing I heard from Sandy talking about it was that I think they're waiting until after Squadron 42's and 3.0's release before they're going to look and revisit that. And then we'll have no more. I think that's the same for the next Great Star Marine as well. So the next Great Star Marine is literally was going to be about building the Titan armor suits. Now I know that CIG have been working on Titan armor as well, so it might be a specific type of Titan armor, or they might rejig the next Great Star Marine so it's for something else. I believe that you had to create, or you will have to create a helmet as a team, and then that's your entry into the qualifiers to get into building this Titan armor and that sort of stuff. And they did it with the Redeemer, and obviously we see what happened with the Redeemer. They benched it until a little bit later, and that's what they have done. I mean, you can see that with the Redeemer. They'll work on it eventually, but it is low priority for them, and they're clearly working on other things. Otherwise, they talk about it more. The Redeemer is a ship that I desperately want CIG to work on more, because there's a lot of hype around Redeemer. But I suppose I want them to work on every ship. It's 26 must-fix issues left until they push 3.0 to the Evocati for the first build. I'm waiting for the 8700K before I make any choices on processors. I want to see hands-on comparisons with the Threadrippers, and I want to double-check to make sure the new 10 NM processors aren't straight behind. If they're 2 months or 3 months away, then I'll wait for the new ones. But I suspect they're a year away. Yeah, so the 1060 is a great card. It's got the... It's sits in between the 980 and the 980 Ti in forms of power, so it's pretty powerful card. And it's very much supported, so it's going to get better and better drivers all the time. The 9 series, I think, is already not fully supported anymore. It's end of life. So you're going to see gains on the 1060s, but you're not going to see so many gains on the 980 Ti anymore. I want to see all ships balanced to the 3.0. Balance is really hard to do in Star Citizen. It's significantly easier to do in Arena Commander because it's combat. Bam, 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 bam. In Star Citizen, it's not always about 1v1 combat. It's about escaping. It's about getting the jump on your opponent. It's about escorting, and you don't have to be in combat at all. You could be a trader. So balance is a little bit odd. It's to do with ship intention, making them good for that intention, but not making them broken, so that there's no ways of counteracting that. So that, in terms of balance, Star Citizen is about making sure that it's rock, paper, scissors, but on a much grander scale, with rock, paper, scissors, and then 27 billion types of laser. See what I mean? Okay, well, that's good to know that your experience with Logitech is not supporting Cytec, probably. They're probably going to just, smash that division down and really jig something with it. I think the Game Changer could be a concept sale at CitizenCon. I don't actually know. I'm pretty sure I know what the Game Changer is, because I've talked to devs about it when I was at my office tour, but I don't know who makes it. I don't know the manufacturer. Potentially could be any of those sponsors that were listed in the CitizenCon thing, which was Compass, Electronic Access, Aegis Dynamics, Consolidated Outlands, or it could be a conglomerate of them working together to produce some form of ship. A big civilian job, though. probably the last ship I buy. Because I can't justify buying spaceships. I want to back Star Citizen. I've backed Star Citizen. A load of money in. I run a YouTube channel. I run a stream. I back Star Citizen. I'm very much a believer of getting stuff in game where you can. I'm thrifty as hell IRL. Unless there's other ships after that come out that are like, this is going to be great for content because because I want to do lots of industrial and economy stuff. So unless they tell us otherwise, the Eva Carty won't be able to be streaming their experience. They shouldn't record videos either. But I think for some of the bug reporting, you kind of it's allowed. But they might change the way the Eva Carty work. They might allow Eva Carty to show off stuff. I don't expect it. I think that's very unlikely. It's more likely first wave PTU. As soon as it goes first wave PTU, then its embargo ends on videos and screenshots and all that sort of jazz. Streams. So procedural cities need to be in the game for them to do planets like ArcCorp in the short term, but also like Terra, Earth, city planets, alien planets that are populated. It's important. But obviously they can do the procedural cities in the same time they're producing the outposts and bases and towns and everything. They can all be part of the same system, just to a larger scale, which is cool. That's why they've been waiting a lot of the time as well. All these modular systems for missions, for subsumption, for physical assets, when it talks to like outposts, space stations, truck stops, all that sort of stuff. They had to build all these separate modules, and they had to make sure these modules fit together and work together, and that they're all feeding air into each other and power to each other and stuff. So a lot of that stuff's starting to come online with 3.0, or if it's not, then it's still being built out, and they've been working on it. They've been working on it for a while, and there's a lot there already. That's why, like, if you get the opportunity to go onto a studio tour ever, do it. They are good. Let's get back to chats. Because I got it so that it doesn't keep on resetting the video anymore. So this, the video that you can see in the background is the Gamescom floor gameplay that Maya and Sergeant Gamble and DJ Knight were playing with some other people at Gamescom. Something that was Gamble complaining when his Nox hit something. No, I've lost a race again. Right, so we got some people are answering each other's questions. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. I am after some mods for YouTube and for YouTube, Twitch, Reddit, and Discord, and kind of mods for one. I'll make mods for all, even if they just want to focus on one, just so they will have the same permissions, just in case. If you're interested, then drop me an email, stream@boredgamer.co.uk. And I recommend a cheap laptop. Specifically, you really want to look for a laptop with a 1060 in it, if you can. So, they made the graphics cards full-sized. When we're talking about 1060, so you don't have to worry about the M versions. They want a lot cooler for the laptop I've got. So, the cheapest laptop you can find with a 1060 in is my recommendation. Mine cost me £1,000, which is quite expensive. If you don't want to spend much, I think you probably grab one for 800. I think we'll see some sales at CitizenCon. So we'll see like the Terrapin and loads of other ships go on sale at the same time. Concept sale of some sort. I'm expecting either at CitizenCon or at the anniversary sale later. We'll see some Idrises and stuff as well. I was talking to some other content creators about it. They don't think there will be. I do think there will. I think they like to sell like 1,000 Idrises a year because it makes them $1.5 million by selling 1,000 a year, because they sell almost instantly. It's a travel. So Compass is a travel magazine named after a tool for sure only works on Earth. You'd have to set the compasses very differently on every planet, wouldn't you? Of course you would. The head of Miles Eckhart is his name Pete? Nick? I can't remember his name. But he's in the UK office. Nick Helms? No, Helms is the other guy. Pete, isn't it? I get confused with everyone's names. But he's the face and head of Miles Eckhart, but he's not the voice or the actor. That's the joy of that lip and rig driven system. That's one of the reasons I didn't understand the face over IP stuff as much. Like, I think it's cool, and from playing VR, face over IP is cool, and those little gestures, they do make the game a lot more enjoyable and like quite cool. But they've got the rig tech that it can drive faces based on lip movement and so audio. So why not just do that? But that's just me. Thanks. I do look like I am an NPC, like Mars Eckhart given missions. Hey, come over here. I need you to go rescue a black box. Do you think they will announce the Mustang reworks? So yes, that's a good point. It's a very good point, actually. So the Mustang. So it's been this has been talked about before. This is their like end of year schedule. It gets updated every week as well, and it looks at their plans scheduling wise for certain bits they're working on between now and the end of December. So you can see they're going to be working on the Bandit Merchantman. At least they're planned to at the start of next month, and it will be hopefully finished by the middle of next year. So the Mustang updates potentially have already started work on, and they'll be working on them, and hopefully they'll be ready before the end of the year. We might see bits of those reworks at CitizenCon, because Consolidated Outland, who make the Mustangs, they are a sponsor, so we might see something, or they could be a sponsor that is there for another reason. Maybe they make the Game Changer, maybe they make another concept ship that they're going to sell there, or maybe they're there for another in-law reason, because at CitizenCon it looks like they're going to have an all-day event as well as the presentation in the evening. So very lucky for people that are going there. I'm going to potentially be going there. I want to go. I've got a ticket. It's based on care for my brother, because I'm my brother's carer. So we'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, family's always going to come first. What else we got? What else we got question-wise? Let's bring this bad boy back up. Not nice. Thank you very much for answering each other's questions in chat. That's very much appreciated. So I talked to Toby I, the eye tracking stuff. They said there was no plans to support Star Citizen in the short term, so that might change in the slightly longer term. I think we can budget to work with Star Citizen, so I will try and grab one. Yeah, I'll try and grab a Toby and see what I can do with it. But we are going to start to see eye tracking in games. We're going to start to see eye tracking on VR headsets. We're certainly going to see cool head tracking stuff with the face over IP stuff and Faceware. They've got head tracking. They've got all that sort of stuff in game, which is cool. Yeah, it's potentially Consolidated Outland could potentially make that game changer, as they already have only one ship. The levels keep on cutting off.
I'm going to buy so many spaceships.
Thank you very much,
Keep
Sean.
up the great work with the videos.
Thank you very much, Sean. Very much appreciated. $13.54, an odd number, but thank you very much. Very much appreciated. You're a legend. Yeah, star. I never understand why people would want to donate to me. Honestly, just watching the videos is more than enough, but people want to give donations, you are more than welcome. I'll give some hanger flair. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, towards the end of the stream, I'll do a little... Whoever can answer a slightly obscure Star Citizen question. We'll test it for next week. Yeah. So whoever can answer a very obscure Star Citizen question, I'll give a bit of hanger flair to this week. Next time I stream, I'll do a Nox Q. I've got contest rules down below. We just updated them today, so I might as well test them out. Remember, it's cross-platform as well, so it is on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated, Captain Binary. Much appreciated. Oh, that was the amount of money. It was £10. Yeah. I stream irregularly at the moment. So on the weekends, I stream loads of co-op VR stuff at the moment. So lots. Normally do a little bit of Star Citizen as well, just at least chatting about it. But other than the weekend, probably twice a week at the moment. I'm starting to stream a lot more. Thank you very much. Not Eclipse, I'm going to call you. With your cringy Cameron face. Thank you. I love you, Cameron. Oh, shit. But in a bit, we're going to have a look at those Idris Battles. We're going to talk a bit about capital ships. Because, I mean, people go on about Star Citizen, or one of the arguments to Star Citizen being a bit broken or a bit crappy is that it's going to be pay to win. Or at least an argument against Star Citizen is that it's going to be pay to win. So, specifically, they've said, no pay to win. No. But that does not change the fact that they sell these expensive spaceships, which you get when you start in game if you've bought them. And that's paying to have that spaceship. That could be seen as pay to win. So, I understand the argument of pay to win, but pay to win specifically means something you can't obtain in game without money, or giving you such an advantage you can't compete without money. You're going to be able to obtain everything in game. And some of these ships that you're buying, if you're buying Idris, yeah, that's a big ship. You need a bit. Thank you very much, Eclipse. I'll start. Appreciated, mate. Thank you very much. It's God, I've lost track now. I'm a horse. Yeah, not pay to win. So some of those ships, those giant ships as well, they are meant to be bought and by like big orgs, and they're going to be huge money sinks. You need big crews to run them. They're going to need maintenance. They're going to need repair. They might have a standing cost to have them housed in hangars and stuff like that. So it's I suspect there'll be a little bit of leeway if they do that. Like you might have a couple of months. Like you've got a hangar for this, the short term, or maybe they just come with a big hangar. Bought them. They'll probably come with a big hangar if you've bought them, or somewhere to store them. But they're going to be big money sinks. 1v1, yeah, a Super Hornet is going to beat your Aurora on day one. But you don't have to fight those people. You can stay in the PvE systems. On day one, if you go to an NPC that's got a Super Hornet, he's going to beat your Aurora. It's the same thing. But you're going to be able to own everything in verse in game. It's not a 1v1 ship simulator. There's a lot going on in Star Citizen that makes it not that kind of game. But yeah, in Arena Commander, there are ships that are just better than others. In Star Citizen, there are ships that are more focused at a particular role, that are better at dogfighting than others. That is just a fact of the game, and it would be a boring as fuck game without it. And just be aware. Just be aware. I will turn up my mic slightly. Hopefully. Put it up to my face slightly more as well. Okay. I do love board games. But we don't play that many. So I'll start to do some board game simulators, probably in VR as well. If you can hear a little bit of a whir... I'll turn my fan off. Don't point at me. So I put my fan on for VR purposes, because it makes me not feel sick. I'm playing on it. You're a bad pun. I did worry about Track IR and stuff. Like, Track IR have done good work for Star Citizen. And I know that they obviously wanted native support on their own thing. I suspect there may be uses for Track IR still. We'll talk about it at some point. When we know more about the baseware and FOIP. Oh, you star. We'll talk more about thingamajigs. So I just saw a donation and my mind went, I saw dollar signs. I went, oh, fuck. Thanks for bringing the best Star Citizen content. Appreciate it, Tom. I thought it was going to be a question. So there are some great other content creators as well. And fortunately, people I choose to work with as well, which is great. SDL Youngblood, Nooberfire, Super Mac Brothers Ryan. Legend. We've got a great community. We've got a load of content creators that found their start effectively in Star Citizen. And I find that quite joyful. We've got a good community there. Yeah, like Hornet versus Super Hornet. Like, there's going to be a lot of other stuff going on here as well, you've got to remember. Like, there's going to be loadouts for ships. Potentially, for like a Gladius, you could get a loadout that wrecks Super Hornets. And Hornet will be able to build a build that possibly will be able to wreck Super Hornets in certain situations, but those Super Hornets will have more potential to be able to wreck both of them, if you see what I mean. To do with your loadouts, your choice, your situation, what you're doing. 26 bugs left. 26 bugs left before it goes to first Evocati Alpha 3.0 build. And those bugs are all focused on traversal. So it's traveling, quantum drive, air traffic control, landing, spawning, despawning ships. It's all traversal and all that sort of stuff. Seamlessness of planets. When would we be able to rename all ships? I don't know. The 600i was the first concept sale where they went, you can reserve your ship names. So we'll have to wait and see. Scroll up and grapple my question. I will try. BoredGamer. Will the new Cutlass have magnetic locks for cargo? So there'll be secure cargo area, yes. So you'll be able to store your cargo in there, or your Nox, or whatever, or both, whatever. Play to win, yes. And one of the other things is that we need to make sure that we keep on CIG's case with a lot of this stuff. Like, we'll have to make sure that we enforce the not pay to win stuff, because there'll be stuff that they do that it can be to do with balance or selling bullshit ships or whatever, that we'll have to go, no. Actually, you make sure you do this right. And that's fair enough. That's one of the things the community does. It does very well. We do go, hang on, fuck you, buddy. Actually, I think my microphone might be a little too loud now. Turn it back down slightly. Do you have any idea on the Duracores? If you look at the long-term plan, because it should be finished. So some of these obviously aren't accurate. Well, they might have been accurate. These were the internal schedules and plans for dates for things. So you're talking about the Freelancer Dur clearly. I do believe like the Razor, I believe, is pretty much finished, although it will be in bug fixing. So although some of these ships may be finished now, they're not going in 3.0. 3.0 is basically content locked. And I say basically content locked because if something happened where they went, we need this particular system or ship or something, they would put it in. And they always reserve that right too. Where is got the Freelancer Max here, which will also be done now. And we've got the Freelancer Dur. So, yeah, these will be worked on or being worked on. They might not have started exactly when they thought they were going to start. They may be finished, sort of. Like, they need bug fixing. They use implementation and testing in the same way that 3.0's needed testing and bug fixing for a few months now. So, bear that in mind. The ugliest ship. I actually don't like. Not a fan of the Xi'an Scout. I appreciate that it's beautiful, but it just doesn't do anything for me. I think ugly things like the Herald. I find it quite pretty in some ways. Not a massive fan of the Reliant, but that's not because of the way it looks now. It soured me towards it. Like, I hate the way it flies. I think they're all so beautiful. Yeah, so customized loadouts are always going to be more focused and give you more choice so that you can be more competitive. I'm hoping that there is no one meta build that is better than every other build. That's what they need to get right with the Star Citizen balance. The idea is that you need to be fully situational and then react to your situation. So like, oh, I'm an energy build because I was going to be flying for long distances, fighting loads of pirates, loads of weak pirates for a long amount of time. So I've gone for like a stamina-ish build for my ship, where I've gone for lots of energy stuff, so that I don't need to restock as often. Great. But that might not necessarily be great for PvP. And if it is, then like someone turns up with like a ballistic build that's like a PvP ballistic build, but they might not have the best shields, so your energy weapons might actually be quite effective once you've taken their shields down. Stuff like that. I don't know. There's potentially a lot going on there to do. So Yoko Rose, it's an entirely justified point of view. People will look at the game and they'll go, this ship package costs $15,000. How is that not pay to win? It's not pay to win because it's just not. Like, you can buy those $15,000 ship package. That's not going to give you this massive advantage that people think it's going to give you. It's going to allow you to give a load of ship to your friends. You can only fly one ship yourself. You could potentially sell them all and have this huge UEC advantage to start with, but you need to learn the game. You're going to need to learn how the markets work and everything. And we're only this 1/10 of the economy as the player base, effectively. Like, 1/10 of the effectable economy? It's active economy? I don't know how to describe it. Like, those pledges are to help back the game. People that think they're going to gain huge advantages by buying these ships and are buying the ships because they want an advantage, probably not going to have the best time when the game releases after like the first couple of months. You're going to be like, ah, shit. But there are certain things that, yeah, they're definitely going to get a time advantage. And if they're playing Arena Commander and they don't want to invest in getting wreck, yeah, day one in Arena Commander, they're going to wreck people. If you want to do PvP day one in Star Citizen against people that adventure too far in their capital ships or in their smaller ships or whatever with skeleton crews, yeah, day one Star Citizen is going to be this weird fest of people going, I'm going to go test my Idris out by myself. My Idris has been captured by pirates. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. Hello. My favourite ship's a Reclaimer. It's after my first studio tour. I went, this is amazing. Cutlass will probably be like mid-range in terms of how far it can venture out. It's a okay sized ship. It's going to be based on how you load it out and stuff like that as well. You've got to remember that like fighters and stuff that are one-seater, typically they're going to be short range. Cutlasses and stuff, bit of a longer range is my expectation of that, because they've got larger fuel tanks, larger quantum drive tanks. So you can see a lot of your how long they can stay out for, effectively being how much quantum fuel they've got, how far they can travel with that quantum fuel. That's why some of the exploration ships are going to be able to travel huge distances, because they're going to have huge quantum fuel tanks and really efficient quantum drives. How will... I'll come back to some of these questions. I'm done this. One second. We don't know how tension and crimes and stuff will be handled in game. I'm expecting it will be a mixture of UEC loss, item loss, that sort of stuff. That will happen if you've been a criminal and get caught. Stuff like that. That's my expectation of it. They can't do huge amounts of detention things, although potentially they could have prison breaks. They could have like, now you've got a mission where you have to get out. So you spawn in a cell and you're like, well, let's work out ways I can get out. Or you will have to get mates to come and rescue you or something. There will always be ways that you can do stuff and get out of it. They don't want to go, well, now you're fucked. They also want to slow pirates down. They don't want them to have full run of the universe or anything. It's the same with slavery and like capturing people. They're not going to want bounty hunting players to go, you've been bounty hunted and now I'm going to keep you on a ship for 4 hours. And that's just lame. So they need to flesh out these systems. They haven't told us exactly how they're going to do them, but we need to keep them accountable for them and tell them when they're doing good or when they're doing bad, when they tell us how the system's going to work. If they say, yeah, you can do bounty hunting and it's really in-depth and everything, and you have to wait 4 hours in a ship while you're locked in a cell, and I can't go, well, cool, he's got me, and I kind of respawn, I want to do something, and that's a bit annoying. I don't know the best case how we're going to do bounty hunting and stuff like that, but there's got to be a better way than that sort of thing. None of the ships do make you a better pilot or better shot, but some of them have the potential to have like AI modules in there and stuff. So I suspect some of the high tier fighters, they've probably got enough power for their power plants and enough like modules and slots so that you could put AI in some of the turrets and stuff. So they'll potentially give you just more choice with some of the more expensive ships when it's talking to like Super Hornet versus Gladius. Although Gladius, I've seen Gladius pilots now just annihilate Super Hornets. So Star Citizen arrives. I'm very much an economy player. I love boarding. I love massive capital ship battles. I think they're amazing and beautiful. But I love economy based stuff. So anything that's economy based, pretty much. I'm not a massive cargo hauler, to be honest. Although I used to do that in EVE quite a lot, just because it made you a load of money. So anything that makes you huge amounts of UEC, but probably the Reclaimer, probably salvage, probably treasure hunting is the thing I'm most excited for, like for live build. Reclaimer jousting, wow. How will Squadron 42 content affect the persistent universe? So your playthroughs of Squadron 42, even if you do them after you've started your persistent universe character, assuming you're using that character in Squadron 42, will retroactively apply bonuses or things to your account in the persistent universe. So that will be a mixture of contacts, that could be flair, badges, it could be potentially be ships, ranks, whatever, and kind of retcons your character as you go through. It adds stuff into your Moby Glass sort of entry. You go, I actually did this in the past, I just remembered. Whatever. That's the idea. And there are going to be some of those characters from Squadron 42, I believe, running around still in the persistent universe. So potentially you could have Gillian Anderson or Old Man or other characters being brokers for you, or having a relationship, or being able to chat to them or contact them in the verse. So yeah, there is the potential for that. I suspect though that they would be contacting you via text rather than voice, if that was the case. Mostly because, you know, they'd have to get all this extra dialogue and stuff, wouldn't they? Although they might have it already, who knows? There is a lot of lots of pages of wild lines. Like he asked how Star Citizen was going to make money after it's out, and I'm told they sold. So they're gonna look at Star Citizen in the future and see what is sensible to do financially for it. So they're hoping that just selling game packages, Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, and UEC, which they will limit the amount of UEC you can purchase, but they will allow people to purchase UEC each week, because you can go, well, I'm just a weekend player, I want to put some money into the game. They're going to regulate the sale basically of their online credits, their gold, because otherwise players will just sell it anyway. You're always going to have Chinese gold farmers selling gold in whatever game. So they're going to try and regulate that black market by selling it themselves. And I think that's kind of fair enough. As long as it's not broken, as long as it doesn't become pay to win. What type of environments do I think they'll reveal in Frankfurt? Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see proper water, proper fluids in the actual sea and the oceans and stuff. I just want some cool biomes. We've seen desert, we've seen a bit of snow, we've seen the moons, which are quite barren. I'd like to see, we've sort of seen like the start of lush savanna. I'd like to see more lush and more alien stuff. I want to see some evolve-like terrain, some dense forests and things like that. So they can start to do dense forests well. That's going to be cool. Without trees popping in and out. We could see some really weird alien worlds as well. And we'll see some like sulfur moons, and we'll see acid rain. And I want to see weather as one of the other big things I want to see. They have to regulate it. They have to regulate it. They talked about it in one of the happy hours, the Merlin, the Parasite ship, the B-52, being dockable with the Connie in 3.0. That was the intention. I haven't had anything about it since. So, when 3.0 comes out, anything you buy with Alpha UEC, which is literally credits you earn in-game in the Alpha, if you lose that, because it exploded, or because someone stole it, or whatever, then you'll have to rebuy it. There's no comeback from that particular loss. You have to repurchase them. And that's the same with systems, weapons, all that sort of jazz. Anything that you bought with real money or UEC from the actual store on the website, that will be replaced. So don't worry too much about that. In 3.1, there will be the ability to purchase ships, or at least that's the intention, and that's what the plan is. So they might do insurance better for that, where you can purchase insurance for ships that you buy with Alpha UEC. But remember, with Alpha UEC as well, every patch, they will most certainly wipe everything that's purchased with Alpha UEC and the amount of Alpha UEC you have. Yep. Thank you very much to Lulu Rose. I will have a pint on you. On me. On someone. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Actually going to go into the new CPU and recording fund. So thank you. Thank you. Talking about planets and jungles, I can't wait for procedural cities. Yes. I'm hoping we see some of that at CitizenCon. Because they haven't shown it yet, have they? They've talked about it, haven't shown anything. Oh, thank you! Thank you, Perry Helion. Thank you very much for the cheer, my beautiful face. I think the lag switch stuff's not gonna be so much of an issue as well anymore from 3.0 onwards. I think it will just ungracefully disconnect you. They've got these graceful and ungraceful disconnects with 3.0 as well now. So when you if you crash or you lose connection, you'll be able to get back into your game very much a lot quicker. Is the idea. Yeah, so there's going to be a reasonable amount of updates to the music system, I believe, in 3.0. The dynamic music system's in. It's one of the things that I can't remember his name. Mr. Tregenza. One of the things he did before he left. All that all set up for 3.0. Yeah, the plan is to have those planets and the rest of the Stanton system in 3.1 and 3.2. Obviously, the original idea was to have the whole of the Stanton system in 3.0, but then they doing loads of this procedural planet tech, and they were improving that tech, and there was lots and lots to work on. And obviously, there's city planets and stuff that they need to get done. Yes, bit of Eva Carty. I am Eva Carty indeed, but obviously when we get the Eva Carty build, we won't be able to talk about the content of that, so just be aware of that. It'll just like a shit-eating grin from me. I think it's good, and a really depressing frown if I'm worried about something. Yeah, there'll probably be in-game radio stations. I'm assuming player-made ones, sort of stuff that we might get. So you're going to have Cloud City around Crusader, and you're going to have ArcCorp, which is going to be a big city planet. That's not going to be in 3.0 though. It's going to be like 3.1 and 3.2. Yeah, any of the concept ships or any package that comes with a concept ship in it, is in its concept sale, will have lifetime insurance. Lifetime insurance isn't going to be this huge deal either. Still going to have to wait for your ship to be built and replaced. And in 3.0, you can pay. Basically, every ship effectively has lifetime insurance, but you can pay to have your ship back quicker. I'm thinking CPU-wise at the moment, I'm going to wait for the new Coffee Lakes to come out. So that's only a few weeks away. And probably get a 8700K or a Threadripper based on what's best for my needs. I need to see the reviews, I need to see hands-on third-party reviews of them before I make a decision. I'm not affiliated, nor do I care for AMD or Intel in particular. It's literally what's best for my needs. And it's going to be for recording. I want to get 1440p videos done every time, even if it's just the recording quality of that. But I can then have them uploaded at 1440p on my YouTube channel, and that will just make, because it's at higher bitrate, I can upload them as well. That will make the 1080p and the 720p stuff look better as well, just because I think I get higher bitrate on them. So yeah, the potential there is great. Also, make the stream look a lot better because I think I can get 1080 60 and 1080p 60 on the stream. I just don't have a powerful enough processor to handle that at the moment. There will be ship locking in 3.0, so you're going to be able to lock your ship. Great. You're also going to have breaching. We're not sure what form the breaching is going to be, whether it's going to be hand-weldy tools, whether it's going to be blowing up doors, whether it's going to be hacking a panel. But they will be able to breach your ship in some way that will allow them to steal it still, even if you've locked it. And persistence-wise, if you lose your ship, you'll be able to go to and claim it on insurance, but that person will also own that ship as well now. So there's going to be physical ownership and there's going to be legal ownership. The physical ownership, whoever's literally had that ship in their possession. If you land it on somewhere that doesn't have any... So let's land it on Grimhex, so it doesn't have any law. The ATCs, the air traffic control system, is not going to take it away from you if you land a ship that you've stolen there. But if you landed on Port Olisar, for example, with a stolen ship, it would go, hang on, that's not your ship. It would take it away from you when it despawns it, whatever. So you've got to be beware of that. But you'll be able to keep the ship that you've stolen. And when you log out, you'll log back in, that ship will still be there. It will spawn back in with you. But yeah, for the person that's lost the ship, they have to reclaim it on insurance, and it's not going to despawn the person's ship that's been stolen. When they do claim it on insurance, it will basically have two ships in the verse. So they're making these modular space stations now. I'm not sure if Port Olisar is going away in 3.0. I don't think it is. I think it will be slightly different interiorly, but I suspect they'll keep that because it's quite a good asset. I do have a saber. I do have a saber. And I've killed many people in the Aurora. The Aurora LN, actually, rather than the MR. But you need the extra guns, otherwise it's almost impossible. Unless you get like a noob fighting against. So Marcus, with working out what graphics cards and stuff you need at the moment, that's actually quite a hard thing to say. The game's super unoptimized. We don't know until 3.0 is not into my hands, into our hands, what it's going to be, and I will be running lots of benchmarks and stuff. I can recommend, if you're looking at sort of like high-ish settings, 1060, great graphics card still. Obviously, like 1080s and 1080 Ti's are going to be great because even if the game's unoptimized, you're still going to be able to run it on super high res. But at 1080p, high-ish graphics settings, 1060 is probably fine. No, I don't think the Razor will be in 3.0. I do actually think the Razor's pretty much finished and probably gone through some bug fixing. I don't think it's going to be in 3.0 just because they said the list of ships that was going to be in 3.0 recently. It was the Aurora rework, the Cutlass Black rework.
I'm going to buy so many spaceships.
Thank you very much, two of
Love
those.
your work ethic. Great job.
I love you. Thank you. Yeah, Aurora, Cutlass reworks, Nox, Azarova, Dragonfly, Prospector, Constellation Aquila. Azarova. I still have Azarova probably. The 1070 is a great card. It's just not value for money anymore since all the Bitcoin miners bought them and pushed their prices up. It's a really annoying thing. 1070 is a great card though. I don't know. I know that they've got a reasonable way through the Terra and stuff, and I know that as soon as they get the standing system fully built out, there's so much stuff that is done modularly. Thank
Keep
you
up
very
your
much.
Great work.
Oh, you fucking legend, Hattie Blackwolf. Hattie Blackwolf. Thank you very much for all the donations. Very much appreciated. That's we're almost actually there with the new CPU. Oh, I know what I do. Well, actually, let's talk about this before I do a little giveaway. A little giveaway just to try out giveaway. The idea I have for giveaways, which will be a random question answered as quick as possible. Whoever answers it quickest. And remember, we're on Twitch and YouTube, so bear that in mind. I can't remember what I was saying. I just totally went off. Oh, so when they've built out the Stanton system, they've built everything so modularly and everything with these amazing tools that they can just create systems, blah, 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 like that. The things that take them a long time are going to be bespoke.
I couldn't choose a sound
unique.
being hosted, so I decided
Thank you very
to
much.
use this.
Appreciate it. This game is already dead. Thank you for the host anyway. Why not? Appreciate it. The biomes and stuff, they're going to have unique biomes and unique hero assets on planets and stuff like at Levski, you've got that big statue, and you might have a very unique like architecture at ArcCorp or Terra or whatever. That's what's going to take a long time to build out, because you can have the procedural generation there and you can have it all looking great, but they have to have the artist's scalpel, and then they have to have those unique assets there to give it flavour. But they can build the systems out very quickly, so you'll see them go bam, 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 bam through those systems. I say bam, 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 bam. It's still going to take months and stuff to get lots of systems in, but it's not going to be 8 months of us waiting like we have been from 2.6.3 to now. So when I say there's going to be a lot more at CitizenCon this year, I can't elaborate too much because I don't know. But there was this thing, Exploring New Worlds, where they talk about the doors to the event at CitizenCon, so on the 27th of October, 27th of October in the Capitol Theatre at Frankfurt, Capitol Theatre, you know what I mean, at 12 PM UTC. They're opening the doors, and there's going to be lots of things to experience there. There's going to be interaction with devs, and there's a focus on exploration and numerous booths there. So there's going to be an event, and it's going to be streamed live on Twitch as well. It sounds cool. Don't know exactly what it's going to be. So it's the first time they've done something that's sort of like all-day eventy, and it's going to be 100% Star Citizen, which is cool. So it's not like the Gamescom event where they're at Gamescom. This is their event. So I'm very excited for that. I'm hopefully going to CitizenCon, but as I said, totally based on whether I can actually get there, and I don't have to care for my brother that particular weekend or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the kind words. It's cool. Thank you. What was I doing? I can't remember what the fuck I was doing. Okay. I do want a blowjob. Thank you very much. Appreciate. Thanks. I don't think you can give that to me in a donation button though, unfortunately. I wish you could. No, I think we'll have the 3.0 a lot sooner than Christmas now. Yeah, I'm planning to get to CitizenCon. The Evocati testers will be under NDA, which is basically they're not allowed to show screenshots or video footage or discuss the content of the patch. Basically what the NDA will, and they might change it and they might say some other stuff. There's no clues on the Saber Raven. I mean, I'm starting to think the Saber Raven might have been originally what they wanted to do the Eclipse. That might have been the original name for the Eclipse now, maybe. Although I do suspect we will have some different Saber variants. Maybe it's just a skin for it. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have drones in Star Citizen. We're not going to have, like, robo AI or anything. AI in lore is just, like, something that constantly fails, and there's reasons that they don't use it. Because in IRL, that's probably the way we're going. We're going towards AI, and they're going to be much better shots than humans would be eventually. And they'll be able to react to lots of situations probably better than we can. And they'll be the master race! Yeah, 7700K, probably the best gaming processor at the moment. And specifically just for gaming. Gaming that's a very similar rig to what I have, except I've got a 6700K. Right, those extra 4 threads that the 8700K potentially give me, or a Threadripper give me a load more threads. It's going to be great for me for streaming, for recording, all that jazz. Why does Moobot just produce a line of emotes? You bad Moobot. I don't know how the criminality is going to work with people breaking into your ship. So I don't know. I suspect that you killing anyone on your own ship won't be a crime. That's what I'd do. So it's like, you're on my ship, I can shoot you if I want. You better hope that I'm a good captain. That seems reasonable, doesn't it? Because would see you anyway kill that person on your own ship. I've never got my head around jump points apart from when they get you from A to B across fast distances very quickly. Can you give us an overview? Will they be in the same place? Will they degrade and fade away? Can players make or destroy them? So I think in the probably at release, because I don't know everything about jump points. They haven't told us everything about jump points. But I don't think they degrade. I think they stay there. Big story events might happen where new ones become available, where some do degrade as a big story event. And there will be like hidden ones that you can find and explore. That you may want to share with the verse, or you may want to just keep it for your org or whatever. But I suspect that as soon as someone finds one, they'll get around pretty quickly where they are. Or maybe they're not. Maybe people are very good at keeping secrets. But yeah, they're just, this links me from this system to this system. And potentially, you could have ones that link you from systems that we don't know about yet as well. So there are other systems that may be in the game at start, which we can only find if we find a hidden node. And they might add more nodes later when they add more systems and stuff like that. So just be aware of that. They'll tell us more about jump points probably pretty soon. Maybe at CitizenCon. It's getting towards that time. Will ships be locked when you go out exploring or do a mission? You'll have to lock them manually. Go, I'm locking this ship. So we're not going to have... I'm not sure if we're going to have any ground-based combat AI to fight against in 3.0. We might, but I don't expect it. We'll have NPCs milling about on landing zones, certainly. But I'm not sure if we're going to have any to actually physically fight at mission sites and stuff. Because they had issues with animations, networking, and pathfinding, which they are working out, and that's probably one of the main reasons that Squadron 42 is not out as well. Right, that's what I think anyway. Already answered about no robots. It's AI stuff. They moved away from that. They moved away from that tech. They went no robots. In law, they haven't worked out before. Always problems with them. Yeah, the Razor is planned for 3.1, though I do think it's potentially, even though Matt Sherman's gone, probably will be in the major patches. I think there's potentially going to be ships and content released slightly quicker before the major point patches. So we might get ships before we see salvage, for example, or mining. It's in 3.0.1 we might see the Razor, for example. Hello. Remote flying ships with Moby Glass does sound really pretty cool. And with the render to texture tech that they've got, oh my god, look at it glitching around. The render to texture tech that they've got does allow them to do belly cams, does allow them to do remote cams and stuff like that, where you could remote control ships. There's definitely the potential for that. I didn't mean to catcall my stream. Apologise. Let's go back down here. Oh, I feel quite sick actually. Pardon me. I need to eat in a bit. Oh, got a pork joint. I'm boiling a joint of a big, 4 kilogram piece of pork in apple juice and some stock. And then that's going to go, after that's been boiled for about 2.5 hours, that's going on a barbecue and my smoker. That's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. It's a shoulder of pork, and I'm making a maple char siu glaze. Is the only way I can describe it. It's gonna be like char siu, sweet pork, but it's gonna be slightly maple syrupy. I like maple syrup at the moment. Being barbecued and smoked, just works really well. Around how many planets are we expecting that will be available for planetary landings in 3.0's release? 0 planets, but 3 moons and a planetoid. We're going to have Daymar, which is like Mars. We're going to have Selin and Yella, which are like Frosty and the Moon. Maybe I can describe them really, like our moon. And then you're going to have Delamar, which is very moon-like, but with peaks, quite striking mountain ranges, and lots of mining going on. And that's going to be a hero landing zone there. Yeah, so I don't want them showing more 3.0 gameplay at CitizenCon. That's not what I want at all. Like, we know what's in there. It's close to our hands. CitizenCon needs to show, for me, Squadron 42. Because, yeah, that's what I expect to see at CitizenCon. But I'm fine with them showing us stuff beyond 3.0 if the vertical slice isn't what they want to show yet. Because it might be like, look, vertical slice for Squadron 42. We almost had it there. It's the same problem we had last time. We're almost there with a load of the systems, but we need to have this basically as 100% effectively what it's going to look like when it's released, and it's just not there yet because we need to finish out these other systems or something like that for Squadron 42. I could understand that if that's the case, but I do want to see flora, fauna, weather systems, new biomes, different capital ships. I want to see lots of stuff beyond 3.0, so mining, salvage, mechanics like that, medical stuff, gadgets, like show me stuff, show me cool things, and I'll be happy. If they want to show exploration, if they want to show other systems and other cool biomes and jump points and stuff, I'd be ecstatic. We'll have to wait and see. I do have the unfortunate thing where I do hype people because of the way I talk, because I'm a little bit bipolar. So, you know. Hype. Oh, thanks, Adrian. Much appreciated. Yeah, we'll be doing something similar again. What's your thoughts of the interior models shown in this month's Jump Point? I'm just going to get up my screen very quickly. I don't want to abuse people that have actually paid. So I don't mind like having little looks in the background very quickly. I suppose advertisers. But, so you can get these RSI subscriptions, which are non-compulsory, which give you access to some cool little perks in the background. They give you some like rec and some hangar flare and access to the Jump Point magazine and the vault. So some cool pictures. So is this the Cutlass Black thing? Look, I'll bring it up on the screen. So it's very briefly. Blah blah blah. There's some cool stuff for the Cutlass. There appears to be the option for a shower and amenities in general, which I didn't think they were going to have. Maybe it's an option, or maybe it's just for the Cutlass Red. Interesting to have modules that allow you. I'm thinking, so this is the way I do it. Pretty cool. So this is the way I would do food, drink, toilets, and showers on ships. I would have, if you want to have NPC crewmen, you need to have some form of amenities, or whether it be a kitchen, showers, whatever, to have those NPC crewmen, or having those amenities and having food in your mess hall and stuff allows you to get those NPCs cheaper. It takes a percentage, like if you've got shower, bath, bed, food, 50% off their higher price. Something like that, because that means great. They're great for operational costs. They keep NPCs happy. Great. Or they mean that I can have NPCs. That's the sort of stuff that I like. That's the sort of stuff that I want. That's the sort of narrative I will be pushing. But I'm always willing to listen to other people's ideas and know that my idea might not be the best. So I don't want heavy survival mechanics. Jeez. Any news on when the vegetation will be introduced? So we're going to see tiny amounts of vegetation in 3.0. We'll see some cool little things. Forests, jungles, no, I don't know. I'm expecting, well, I'm hoping to see some stuff at CitizenCon about it. The first iteration of their planets, they definitely had forests. that they were messing around with. But the actual procedural generation for forest jungles and alien flora and fauna, don't know. They've shown off some little tiny things, but nothing big. Caves, I want caves as well, and I want. I'm not sure if the procedural tech does caves yet, but they'll make it do it at some point. Deja vu, Squadron 42 at SitCon this year. I know, right? So I'm because I was so burnt by it not being last year, and I'm still like, I really want to see it. I'm not 100% expecting it this year. I just want it. I think they should show it. Like, I think they should go, guys, we have to show something from Squadron 42 because people want to see it that bad. Have to wait and see. Medical gameplay is going to be very cool and very important as well. And people that are good at the medical gameplay, people that are running around with the tools to do medic stuff are going to be useful. Stabilizing people, dragging them back. I'm assuming the biggest moon would be Daymar, because it's got the fixed atmosphere. I think it's pretty big. There probably will be red light-esque districts. I'm not sure. I think they're probably moving away from the actual being able to go to a strip bar in Star Citizen. They're going to want the game to be as appealing as possible to as many age ranges as possible. So a lot of the stuff that they don't necessarily need to put in, I suspect they'll move away from. I do suspect. I don't think you're probably going to get naked or anything either. So bear that in mind. But you'll probably have like areas that are going to be more rough that might imply that there's prostitution. Or slavery, or drugs or stuff. And also I think that planets will evolve and change based on the economy at the moment. So if there's loads of embargoes to a particular system and planet, if there's loads of pirates running rampant, that will start to degenerate that area, and they will start to look poorer and dirtier, and that sort of stuff. But if they're making loads and loads of money, that planet's going to look a lot better. They're going to have better security and all that sort of jazz. They were talking about some sort of life insurance policies and stuff for NPCs, because you'll be able to hire crews, but you'll also be able to Pokemon some like high quality NPCs that you'll want to make like your officers, or you might just want to run a smaller ship with. And they talked about like you obviously don't want to lose them when they die, so potentially they'll have life insurance policies and stuff. They'll talk about more of that stuff in the future. They haven't fleshed it fully out yet. And that's going to be a lot of the stuff we talk about is always going to be, they haven't fully fleshed that out yet. Survival mechanics make sense if you're away from your ship for a long time. So survival mechanics for me make sense if you crash on a planet. You go, bam, rather than the survival mechanics, you go, you need to complete this mini mission so that you can get rescued. And the mini mission will be find water, find food, set up a location beacon, something like that. And they can do it so that the subsumption knows where you've crashed. So you've crashed on a planet without any form of water. It can go, we'll do this mechanic instead. So find this, do this, or find shelter, and then build this thing, whatever. They can do it. There's the potential there. Use of your amenities will affect your reputation. Maybe. It's interesting to know how NPCs will see your reputation based on how you've treated other NPC crewmen. Although that might not be an issue. I don't know. I'm so sorry. No, so they need to get the in 3.0. You can see from the 3.0 demo that when they take off and land and stuff, that the ships don't have enough weight to them. Like they feel like the space flight model. So there's a lot they need to get ready and done for that. They need to tweak that so that if you get hit like a railgun or a missile or something when you're in atmosphere, and it's obviously the planet's going to have different atmospheres, different gravities, stuff like that. So bear that in mind as well. But if you're in a reasonable gravity and you get hit by a rocket, I want that to knock you for 6, and that you're more likely to crash because you've been concussively knocked. Stuff like that. But at the moment, you can just like flip upside down and just hover there. I don't want that. I want atmosphere to feel more weight to it, and actually like you're in an atmosphere. At the moment, it feels too much like you're just in space. So that's probably one of the things that they are fixing for 3.0, or I'm hoping they are anyway. Yes, Chris Roberts does seem to want perfection for Squadron 42, and hopefully you got people like Aaron and people like that who will go near perfect. It's fine, Chris. Get it near perfect. We're gonna get it gets 95 from a review, 95%. But I want 99 to 100%. No. Oh shit! Okay, let's do the giveaway. So the giveaway is going to be for a piece of Hang Flare. Just be a bit of random Hang Flare. Just going to test this idea. And so I'm going to go to new messages, and remember this is on Twitch and on YouTube, and it will appear on this screen here in front of you. It'll just be for like a $5 Hang Flare giveaway. Because next time we do one. Next time I stream, we'll do it for Nox Cube, but this will just be a bit of Hang Flare. So the first person that can tell me name of the NPC who assigns your landing zone, or assigned the landing zone in the Gamescom 2016 demo. Okay? The name of the NPC that assigned the landing zone. And it doesn't have to be the 100% correct spelling. See if anyone can get it quickly. People... I'm not sure if it will be written anywhere. I know it. I will... So questions that I do for this sort of stuff will be... so CitizenCon... CitizenCon will be 27th of October. No. I'll bring it up on screen as well to show you. Come on. Maybe people are furiously looking through. Oh. No. Ruto's a good guess, I suppose. No, it's not. Oh, it's not Adolf. And no, not Eugene. It's not Freddie Mercury. Not Mr. T, it's not the Fat Controller. Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? I should have saved it. That's right, I've got some other ones. Oh, I'll bring it up. Give people... So I need to be really eagle-eyed. Someone gets it. No, it's not Admiral Akbar. Oh, so... just Rudd. Major Tom. Aaron. No, but I'm very much looking forward to Alpha 3.0. So I'm looking to talk some random stuff. Oh, God. Travis, no. Waldo, it's a trap, no. Oh, man. Please, if enough people give up, I'll show you. I'd like his full-ish name. Like, if it's phonetically spelled correctly as well, it's fine. I'll be winging it in the verse. It's just economy-based stuff. So I'll be doing stuff in the Reclaimer, stuff in the Banning Merchantman, stuff. The question is, who is the NPC that assigns the landing zone in the Gamescom 2016 demo on Delamar Levski? He has a name. He has a name. He has a name. Well, I'm not going to tell you see it. They just don't say his name. Oh! Oh! Jolixon, that's very close. Do you have his second name? Do you have a second name? Oh. Very good, Jackson. Very close with that. It's pretty much his first name. No. It's not, no, come on. You've got this. I believe in you. Not Morgan Freeman, though. It's just moving random words after his name. I'm gonna give it 30 seconds, and if no one's got it, then I'm gonna give it to him because he got very close. Oh, 2-2. He's got it. He's got it. 2657. Eslin Macken. Let's bring it up on the screen to show you. Star Citizen Gamescom 2016.
Welcome to.
Should have probably saved this time frame, shouldn't I?
Let's go ahead. Landing we wanted to, but we're going to request the landing from the Levski control tower there.
See that? That's his name. Eslin Macken. That is a really, really good find. Good job. Can you drop me a email? I'll message you as well. If you drop me an email, giveaway at boredgamer.co.uk, make sure you get it. But I will also on the YouTubes 657. Drop me an email. Thanks, bro. Good fucking find. Good find. Good job. Oh no, shit! Look, you can't actually see what I'm seeing. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. It was it's well found, man. That's literally how it's a flash. It's like 2 frames with an arm going across the monitor. It was well found. It's a YouTuber. YouTube's. Good job. So next time we do this, that was just this test to make sure it works, basically. Next time we do this, we'll do it for an Ox-Q, and we'll do it for next time we stream. And I'll talk about it. And we'll start doing giveaways and stuff. I've got a load of random ships that were bought with a specific intention for giveaways. So we'll start giving them away on streams and stuff, seeing that the streams seemed relatively popular. But, right. So, let us look. At the Idris. Make it hard, it was too easy. Oh my god. Does Chris Roberts say his name as well?
He's a gladius from the Idris, by the way. So, you know what she is?
Yeah, so in the future, they're going to have servers for Star Citizen that are private servers, and they're going to have modding and stuff like that. But don't expect it until a little while after release. So they're going to get their game released first, and then look at like an ergonomic tool set and stuff. Like, they've got some powerful tools, and I suspect that they'll give a lot of them to players. But they're not going to want to do that until after the release of the game. So bear that in mind. So Idris, we saw it at Gamescom 2017 in engine. Obviously, still lots of bugs. It's cool the way the engines flip down and come down. But having these large capital ships in-game at this stage is great. Even if the ramps don't work properly, even if they have to have the shields off so that they can destroy each other because of the amount of time it takes to attack each other. And on day one of Star Citizen's release, you're going to see a load of these big ships stolen. Because people are going to fly out with them, testing them solo, and pirates are just going to be like, we want that ship. You can message me on the YouTubes, and there's literally a message button in the About section on YouTube too. Or you can email me at giveaway@boredgamer.co.uk. So yeah, either. All I do is just double check that it's you, and you somehow have found me. So yes, it's quite possible that ground vehicles will have countermeasures. But these sort of bigger ships, you are going to be able to run them with skeleton crews, and at the the Gamescom demo, they were being piloted by 6 crewmen, each of these Idrises that were fighting. So we'll watch a little tiny bit of this and then we'll skip to the battle. There was 6v6 effectively in the actual the crew of the ship, but in Squadron 42, typical crew size is going to be around 18 to 20. And that's probably the larger size of crews that you'll have as players. Potentially it can hold a load more people. They said, I think, that they had 70 people walking around in Idris at one point, and it still didn't feel crowded at all. Still felt pretty empty. I don't think there are going to be terraformers in the game. I think that lots of the planets have already been terraformed, and there might be like story things that things get terraformed. I don't think we'll see terraformers in game. Yeah, so that. See the bugs here. The chip goes through and just explodes. Poor little rover. But he runs on, gets rid of his railgun. Not sure why he gets rid of his railgun. Maybe it was causing glitches on the bridge. Maybe he can't get through the fucking doors. See the Idris zooming away. He goes to have a fight. Yeah, I expect to see silly, badly done voice acting that they pretend they're sort of like semi-in-game, semi-out-of-game at all these events now. I think it's just something that we need to appreciate what it is, like a really, really bad wine.
It's all right with you.
Yeah, potentially atmospheric flight for a lot of the ships should feel like VTOL, but they shouldn't feel like they're just hovering constantly at every position. If you lose your ship and you have no insurance, there may be some form of base insurance for ships in the future, which is just sort of like, yeah, you get it replaced, but you've got to spend a load of money on it. You like basically lose half its value or something. But it may be that you've lost it. But we'll have to see how they evolve those mechanics. We'll test them out, me and Alpha and Beta, and we'll get whatever feels good. I mean, I'm happy for you just have to like get a really basic insurance that goes, yeah, you've got to pay half the value of the ship again to get it back, something like that. If you had no insurance and you lost your ship, but insurance won't be too expensive. I like the idea of statutory insurance.
2 of my ships, killed 2 of my men, and stole my black box. So, I'm going to give you exactly 1 chance. Get a hand over
Good, Crucian. Doing well, mate.
the ship and scavenge through the wreck.
Yeah, I think terraforming will be story-based events, or I'm not sure if we're going to have. I don't know much about the terraforming stuff. Maybe they will do it as a mechanic, but I don't expect it.
You've got 1 option.
Squadron 42 is going to be offline, I believe. I do also believe that you'll be able to replay some of the missions co-op or some battles co-op. And that's the intention for Squadron 42. 26 must fix issues all around traversal, so quantum travel, landing, the air traffic control system, all around that kind of movement that need to be fixed before the first Ether Party build can go live, or 3.0. CIG is a proper game studio now, yeah, and a big one, but it's still junior. got to think of it like that. They're new. This is their first game. Although the alphas that they've brought out could be seen as almost games. They've got experience producing game-like material. But they're pretty new still. But bear that in mind. They do stuff wrong. They do a lot of stuff right. They do a lot of stuff wrong. Do you think they'll implement to stop me giving a ship to a friend and claiming insurance? Well, him having an illegal ship will make him a criminal if he gets caught with it. I suspect that your insurance premiums will go up for all of your ships if you start losing ships regularly, stuff like that. So I suspect that it will not be cost effective. We might be able to force or bodge some form of offline mode in 3.0 like we can with 3.6.3. I will do videos on it if that is the case. Yeah, so that's exactly it. If you hover in atmosphere, that should cost you a sod ton of fuel. It will take you time to get back. Yeah, maybe it will cost you a load of your booster or something. I don't know. They need to have some mechanics for it though. Like, at the moment, the flight model in atmosphere just doesn't feel good enough. So, something I wanted to talk about here. These Idris, they can't have, at the moment, they can't have their railgun on and their shields on. And having their shields on would mean the battle would take forever. So they just chose to have their shields off and to have their railguns on so they could fire at each other. They want to have long cycle times for the shields as well. Like, if your shield gets disrupted or damaged or whatever, it's going to take like 90 seconds to turn back on. So like people that are flying in and targeting subsystems or a team on board that's disabling systems, that could be potentially battle winning just by quickly disabling their shields, because it would take 90 seconds to charge back up. You just wreck them, whatever. So some of the battles I think are going to be pretty cool. Now, with this was in an enclosed test environment, this Idris battle, but it's good to see two Idrises with fighter support fighting, even if it was just 6v6 crew-wise, plus the other ships flying around. One of the clients seemed to have problems with frame rates, the other one didn't seem to have too many problems, but it was cool to see. Like, the times to kill are going to be massively different as well. Like, capital ships are going to take a long time to pummel down, and are much more likely to be like partly disabled and then to be repaired. And you have to decide whether you're going to board them or whether you're going to take down their fighters while they're being repaired, or whether you keep on pummeling them, stuff like that. Kaboom, mother trucker. So this is just one of the death flourishes. They're going to have lots of different types of death flourish in the future. And when you've done like enough damage to a hull, yeah, ships can explode. They won't always explode. If you're disabling subsystems and stuff, then obviously the ships are very unlikely to explode, and it will just be crippled. But you could potentially munch that with a reclaimer now. Nom nom nom. I don't know how insurance is going to work with the huge capital ships. I suspect it will be quite expensive. But that's one of the problems with the capital ships, is that people that have bought them that want to fly them around solo, they're going to be money sinks. Like, you're going to lose so much, like UEC. It's authentic effort from their actors in the 3.0 demos. Yeah, so it's very important. They've got like the light permadeath system as well, so you can potentially permadie in Star Citizen, but you can create another character and it inherits all your stuff. There might be like reputation loss and a little bit of death tax or something, but it's not going to be like major game breaking. The idea is they want your decisions to matter. They want you to, like, same with insurance, they don't want you to just keep on zerging stuff. They want you to not want to lose your character. They want mortality and stuff to be there. It's a very important thing. I suspect that the lifetime insurance will mean that you can almost always get your ship back, or whatever. You just have to wait a reasonable amount of time. I also suspect that you can pay to get that expedited, and that will be dynamically changing. That's my expectation. Yes, that's the important thing as well. I want to see debris and parts of hull and impacts from rockets and missiles. I think that's important as well. I want to see bits of that Idris, little bits of it blowing off when, bam, no shields and missiles hit it. I want to see little tiny bits of its hull. And they will do that, but we didn't see that in this demo. You can see the second battle. Second battle in this one. Well, it's because people demand balance, and that's fair enough. Like with lifetime insurance and pay per ship and stuff, people see it as pay to win. People see it as they've got an advantage over me, which is unfair. I understand that. It's just not this massive advantage or anything. Yeah, so the science behind the coupled mode is that you're moving via your thrusters,
We'll see.
I think. I'm not sure how far dynamic destruction will go. We've seen some dynamic damage. We've seen some pretty cool dynamic damage. And we're gonna bring up the other Star Citizen Games Calm 2017. Have a look at the other Idris Battle quick. Oh, my own stream has come up. Good job. Thanks. My gameplay cut.
Easy, master.
What? Where are you up to?
Home place.
Stereo. Switch to. Just exit the ship.
Yeah, your actions, as Matt Shannon says, your actions are going to need to
Alright. Back.
matter financially as well. Being reckless and expecting a game system to absolve the user of accountability will be what drives the cost up. Baseline insurance is going to be prohibitive. I've already talked about that brimstone. I said earlier. Jump points. I'm not sure about ship rentals. You might be able to rent ships from other players. Potentially you'll be able to rent them for missions and stuff, I suppose. Yeah, maybe. The rentals might be a thing. This is second Idris Battle. But you're about to buy them effectively in 3.1 without VDC. Buy. So they're wiped every patch. I think they have talked reasonably about ship rentals, like potentially about rent a cargo haulage to a mission. They haven't talked much about it. It's fair in mind. It's a possibility. Thinking about it, maybe you would do even like little mini games, like the Orion. You sort of like bought that on by purchase. So I'm expecting large weapons to have issues hitting smaller ships because they'll be slower firing, potentially, harder to move. You want the smaller ships, that's why you want dogfighters. And otherwise you just have battleships doing everything in you. Take out everything. And my battleship takes out all the little fighters. We can have a look at the Javelin in a second. I just thought it was a pretty cool fight. Right, so I don't know where that thingy is. Reddit. Ship status, I think is the name of that. Ship status. In with that picture that I always bring up. Ooh. There we go. How big is the Javelin compared to other ships? So that's the Idrises that we've just seen fighting, and that's Javelin. Big. It's big. Obviously we've seen the Javelin planet side in the Citizen Con demo. So, sorry. I didn't realise the video audio was so overpowering. My bad. But down to 31%. She is. You want to see that picture? There you go. And what else we got? The entails of Idris playing while I'll look through some questions. Is that right, volume-wise? Yes, it is. Yeah, you can rent ships with rec even now, I suppose. I was thinking more in the actual persistent universe stuff. I apologise for having that volume too loud. So right now, it's right now. Yeah, of course it is. I don't further just in case. I don't know what music that is. For now. Yeah, the Javelin's massive. Javelin is absolutely massive. This is the interior of the Idris. But the Bengal will be much bigger, yeah. The Bengal is around 1 kilometer plus in length. That is a big ship. I mean, it's just the Idris, just interior. I've muted it, yeah. They have to up the player count in the server for them to be effective. That's one of the reasons we haven't seen the Idrises in-game yet. Because they can't have 2 of them fighting with more than what we saw. But that was in an enclosed environment. Online it would be hell. So they need to get that fixed before we see them. I'm not sure how they're going to do the rec system for 3.0, but I suspect that rec will just be for Arena Commander. And they want to make sure that's split off. But maybe. We're waiting for the GTX 3080 Ti. Idris versus Idris come out. I don't think it's a performance issue from the graphics side. I think it's a networking issue. And, like throughput and stuff. There's just too much data being tracked at the moment. You're going to need object container streaming. You're going to need bind culling. You're going to need much better optimized network codes. There's loads and loads of stuff that you need. So I think one of the systems does have a black hole in there. So 3.0 has to be pretty good. And that's one of the reasons they're taking a longer time to polish it and stuff. I think CIG realised that it's something that needs to be done very well. Otherwise people will be annoyed. I can't see what my theory of the game changer is because I believe I know what it is. I can tell you that it's a big civilian job. I don't know the manufacturer, though it might be Consolidated Outlancing that what CitizenCon's about. It's going to probably be the last ship that I buy. It's a non-combat ship. It's definitely a ship as well. Expect it to go on concept sale at CitizenCon. My expectation. Oh, look. Why are you spamming? Your guy coming around here spamming! Spamming about these random little videos. No, not on my watch, mate. Go get the fuck out. You get out of here. Spamming about your random videos about Mary Clinton. What? Get out of here. What additional professions would I like to see in-game? As many economic and industrial professions as possible. Industrial stuff, manufacturing stuff. That's for me. That's great. Crafty, findy, geary. I'm very loot heavy. I like treasure hunting. I like salvage. Yeah, anything that adds to. I mean, indeed, anything that adds to the economy. Oh, was it spoiled on the stream, was it? Oh, yeah. What stream was that, mate? Pretty sure the game changer will be a mining, terraforming, colonization ship, are you? Oh, good job. I don't know what to tell you about mining. I had when I had my interview with Erin, we talked about mining. And mining's going to be in 3.1, ground-based mining at the very least, but hopefully all forms of mining. And I say all forms of mining, asteroid and gas mining are the other two, other than ground mining, which is what the prospect is there for. Land on ground, you both don't mine on that. I'm assuming they'll be able to do hand mining as well. So I think voxel asteroids and the asteroid mining is what people are most excited about, though. I don't know much about mining other than that. The full intention of the mining system after 3.1 will be that they want to have extended gameplay for mining, so you'll have to prospect for your materials, literally scan the asteroid, then you'll have to shoot missiles into asteroids to expose what you want in NOM, and then you'll have to mine into that with the laser, and you'll have to adjust the power, and you have to avoid pockets of dangerous gas in the asteroids and stuff. So there will be some quite in-depth gameplay to the mining. Even the Orion Nom big strip miner will have to avoid like dangerous explosive bits of asteroids. Might have to like funnel like gas off asteroids before they just nom up everything. But the idea of them is that they're much more able to munch through asteroids. This is all the interior of that Idris. You are seeing the interior of the Idris? Yeah, it is. No, so I think that's important that I would like to see member count limits to orgs. That's one of the things that Eve does, and I was thinking, why not just have everyone in one org sort of thing? Like, I think they need to have some form of player caps to orgs, and that being what I wanted, but I'm willing to listen to other people's opinions on that. I can't give you any hints on the game changer, unfortunately. Thank you very much, Trickster. I fucking love your face. Very much appreciated. So yeah, one of the reasons I love the Star Citizen project is because it is pioneering gaming, and I haven't really seen any pioneering games since Half-Life 2. And I love being that I'm part of the project effectively. We all are, and that's the joy of it. We can all have our say, our opinion. I've become nice focal point for that, which is amazing. That's one of the other reasons I love it so much. So that was the interior of the Idris that we just watched. Has anyone any other questions? I am looking forward to see what the Exploring New World stuff is going to be about. If it's going to be about exploration, if it's going to be about new biomes and pretty cool stuff for the planetary tech, I'm excited. Any other questions? I'll give you guys a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go eat. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Noob. Hey, Idris. Oh, this is a cool thing I saw, actually. It's like a little tactical ship viewer and tactics planner, so you can like put different ships in and move them around. That was pretty cool. I'll link that for people that are interested. No, I don't think they will sneak any additional ships into 3.0. Oh. Let us. That video's run its course, has it? Media source? It is media. Let us put on day Wanaru. Do you know how many moons or planets we might get to explore in 3.0? It's just the moons. It's Delamar, which is the planetoid with the Levski landing zone on it, which is like that huge asteroid. And then you've got Daymar, which is basically Mars, and you've got Yellen and Sela. Selin and Yella, which are like icy, and then one like the moon. Before Christmas, yes. Though I'm not a CIG employee, I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure we'll have 3.0 live before Christmas. I'm hoping we get 3.1 before Christmas. That's how happy I am that 3.0 is going to be out soon. I'm not sure if we'll see grappling hooks from ships. I think we might see player-mounted grappling hooks because we've got the end of the game Satterball kind of grappling hooks they planned originally. Hopefully, eventually we'll see Satterball again as well. Don't lose focus on 3.0 getting closer indeed. Yes, I think the Banu, I think the Defender will probably be finished for the Banu Merchantman. Is my expectation because it's a smaller ship that kind of helps define the race. Yeah, thank you very much, Josh. I do play a lot of co-op VR games recently, and I am sponsored by Oculus, so please bear that in mind when I do videos with Oculus. They've sent me a free Oculus Rift. I don't have to like anything they send me, and I can comment freely, and if I think it's shit or not, though, so they're not paying me to have good opinions on anything. They just sent me a free Oculus, and occasionally they give me free games, but I buy some as well. So I bought Bridge Crew myself, and it's really fun. And there's 4 of us now that all have Oculus Rifts, so we all play. It's cool. How do you think you're going to play the game when it's getting ready to go gold? I don't know what you mean. I will be playing All Star Citizen as much as I can. I mean, I'll be playing some Destiny 2 and stuff in the meantime. Like, it's any tangible gameplay. Star Citizen is probably the game of my dreams. But, like, it's the game that has pushed the most of my buttons. I loved Eve as well, so got a good few years out of Eve. I'm probably in for Star Citizen for the duration. Like, genuine of its lifetime, I'm hoping. I don't know what a good amount of Orc members is for a limit. Probably 5,000, maybe? And then ways maybe to increase it. I don't know, 10,000? I need to look at the orgs. I need to look at the player base. I need to work some stuff out. I don't want infinite-sized orgs, though. This game chair is a... I can't remember. You find them on eBay. They're like $90-ish. They're not super expensive. I can't remember what the name of my gaming chair is though. The cheap one's really actually really comfortable. It's got movable arms. It's like Gerde, something like that. Can't remember. I'm sorry. If I find out, I'll post it at the bottom of this video. But let's go down. But yeah, so we'll see some balance with weapons and shields and systems. Item 2.0 is in 3.0 now, so all the ships are ready for item system 2.0. All the systems are set for 2.0. So we're going to see. Thanks for watching, Talks. Stuff is full of it. I see what you meant there. That was an interesting way of saying it. Thank you very much, bro. Very much appreciated. Yeah, so item system 2.0 is in, so all of these systems, the power plant talks to and feeds the weapons power and talks to your telemetry and all that sort of jazz. So you can have much more customization and everything's going to be much more. Your choices are going to matter a lot more, basically. Which star system will be released after Stanton? I don't actually know. Probably the next system. Yeah, so they haven't talked enough about life support systems, so we don't know. I suspect your character will be able to support a reasonable amount of people, and you'll be able to put in different life support systems if you wanted to have loads of people on there. So bear that in mind. But they haven't talked too much. There will be tractor beams, yes. In fact, the Caterpillar has one. We just don't have it in game at the moment. I expect. I think we'll get 3.0 significantly before Christmas. I'm hoping that we get 3.1 or a good few 3.0.0 patches. But overthink the Delta Patcher will be able to react to bug fixes a lot faster, but in terms of content, the Delta Patcher is not some sort of excuse to skip a proper process with development. Indeed, and Matt Simmons said this a couple of times before on the stream. I get quite excited about the Delta Patcher, and I obviously want content to come quicker, and they will get content quicker when it comes down to bug fixes and hot fixes, and they can respond to stuff quicker, and iterate on builds for the PTUs and stuff a lot quicker. And make it more accessible to people. Accessibility is a big part of the Delta Patcher. People don't have to constantly download 30 gig patches. I don't know. If people desperately want me to shave my beard or grow my beard because of 3.0, I will. I'm not going to grow my hair out because, I'm bald. Yeah, they're going to have to look at org limits and stuff like that. It's certainly something that needs to be looked at. How do you want to exist in the universe? How's that changed? I mean, I'm always going to be an economy player of some such. I'm going to be doing weird industry stuff, trying to make as much UEC as I can, and making videos on that. That actually interests me. I'll be doing boarding and participating in fleet battles and stuff, but with an economy aspect always in mind. Yeah, so this is Daymar. We can visit this moon in 3.0. Yes. I'm not sure if the heads are going to pop in 3.0 if you take off your helmet. I suspect we'll just go icy. And just float away. That's see. I've done some face work. Oh my god. Yeah, we could potentially see some more stuff on jump points. I don't know. I don't know how far they've got on with that. You gotta they'll be able to build out systems pretty quickly now, so maybe they've got a lot further on with the jump point stuff than I think. I don't know. We don't know enough about Star Citizen VR at the moment. So Star Citizen's intention is to support VR in the future. We don't know if it's better to wait for the next generation of VR headsets, or if it's worth getting now. It should be. I'm assuming it will support open source VR, so that it will work with all headsets. The intention was to work with all major headsets, but we don't know how headsets are going to evolve. If you're buying it specifically for Star Citizens, like an Oculus Rift or something, wait. Oh, thanks. Thanks for following, dude. A 1050 Ti will be good enough to play. It's just not a super high spec card. You're gonna have to make concessions with resolution or with game settings. God. I don't think that the game's going to be gory at all. I don't think Star Citizen will be gory. There's no need for it to be. There'll be some blood, some injury. There's no need for anything to be grotesque. There's no need to be shock value like horror games and stuff. I don't know, John. I don't know. So fun's always going to trump realism in this, but they just want stuff as realistic as available. It's going to be fun, good looking, and then real. No, you do not have to pay money to get questions answered, Dave. Boom. That's your one question done. Now pay money. No, no, you do not. That would be madness. And the idea of these talks that I'll do on stream until 3.0 come out, and then we'll actually be able to play, although we will play Star Citizen occasionally until then anyway, probably, is that anyone can have an opinion and chat to me or whatever. I want to take questions, and it gives me ideas for videos as well, just talking to people. So it uses internal bays as well, so it's not just landing pads that are used. Internal bays are used. They are just treated like landing pads, so the Nox can fly in and land in a cargo bay now. Yeah, so it's a big moon. It's a big moon with it's like Mars basically. Obviously a lot smaller than Mars, but like Mars, got quite a dense atmosphere. Yeah, so water's boiling temperature is much lower in a vacuum, so you can freeze and water boil at the same time. As soon as 3.0 goes to a wider PTU, so first PTU of 3.0, we're doing like a redacted 24-hour thing. I'm fucking playing that bad boy. No, so I mean, a lot of people would have wanted just the space aspect of Star Citizen, but I do think that the FPS and ground combat and everything merged together. It's basically they've merged effectively, given the game 100% extra content with the FPS and the procedural tech for planets. That's like doubled the game size at least. I do think it's good. It's just some people would have just been happy with the spaceship stuff and space, definitely. Pay to learn. Oh god. There's a command in the chat, but I'm BoredGamer and BoredGamer UK in Star Citizen. If you need to add me, I have not seen the new LG HR VR prototype. I'll have a look in a minute. Right, see if there's any major questions before I run off for food. I will stream again later. Don't worry about that. If people are like, oh, I didn't get my question answered, and I will look through the questions that didn't get answered as well and see if there's any things I can add to them, because I always chuck them in a document and then use them to help me work out what I'm going to do next time as well. Will there be a chance to buy a Reclaimer before the price increase? Very likely. I can't confirm that because I don't know, but very likely either at CitizenCon or the anniversary sale later in the year. Evocati are not allowed to stream the actual patch unless they change that. And I am Evocati. Yes. But I'll be if people start to like leak stuff or doing bullshit stuff, I will be on to CIG very quickly about like there's people doing this. Can we either have an Eva Carty allowed to do this, or can we be allowed to cover the stuff that gets leaked or something like that? I don't know. I suppose the idea is that you don't want anything to be leaked. But right, any more major questions? But. Well, I'm gonna look for someone else to host. Probably answer a couple more questions while I'm getting there. Do we know what science the Aquila will do exactly? No, I don't. It's going to be for mainly exploration. But I suspect they will have a slight science aspect to it, so I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Science is one of the mechanics that does excite me the most. It's like part of industry and money making, in my opinion. Yeah, as soon as it goes to PTE, we can stream. There's something in the verse that I want that's not there. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Never really thought of that. There's so much in Star Citizen, I never think of stuff that, like suggesting to put extra stuff in, because I'll be like, oh Jesus, what if I had a good idea and they put it in? They delayed the game by another year. But anything more economy, manufacturing, more manufacturing industry stuff. What's your beard ambitions? I don't know. We've never really had a proper beard before. I'll get to a beard and see what it's like. A slightly more impressive beard, and see if it looks good on me or not. There are going to be a lot of destroyed, rammed ships in 3.0 just everywhere, I suppose. People will just be ramming into everything. Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I need to go barbecue something for like half an hour, 45 minutes before I can eat. It's the annoying thing. So I'm really hungry. I haven't had lunch yet, so I should have eaten before I start streaming. But I will stream again later. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for all the Patreons. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for all the love and the kind words. Thank you so much. So much appreciated. And let's see who is around at the moment. Ooh. We're gonna go host Twerk because I love his twerky little face. Who's your twerky twerk? Do you love Twerk? Oh, is he salty? Oh, no, he's good. He's good. He's not salty. So we're gonna go host Twerk. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll be streaming later. I'll probably stream some late in the evening, so in like 5 or 6 hours. I'll probably do some VR co-op stuff, whether it be Bridge Crew or some other cool thing. We might do some more Star Citizen later and actually play some Star Citizen. But I love you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Woo! Woo! Like, is it always salty? Just taste the salt, mate. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you around... Oh, no, actually, around... Fuck you.